Now, back to Coastal Living on KZTV.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining us here. On our next segment, we have an interesting development, development, you hear that? The idea of North Beach. Now, you and I probably weren't around, but back in the 30s and 40s, North Beach was the place to be. It was Coney Island of the Gulf Coast. There were so many things going on. And now today, we're so fortunate to have the Lexington and the Texas State Aquarium right there, two of our biggest draws. So the question is, how do we make North Beach even better? Well, we've got some ideas, and then that's what we're going to talk about. First of all, please welcome Peter Davidson. He's the chairman of the North Beach Preservation Society, and he's joined by Jonathan Gonzalez. He's a designer, and he's a designer who developed the plan that we're going to be showing you. Now, this is an idea to redevelop North Beach, right?
That is correct.
It is being worked on right now, but it's not somebody coming in from out of town and say, hey, let's do this. How did this idea sort of germinate?
Well, North Beach has two issues. It's the flooding issue, and residents and visitors can't get to the Lexington and Aquarium and stores and their residences. And the firefighters and EMS and the police have difficulty going during floods. And then the other issue with the large vessels coming in and out of the port, the wash of the vessels and the wake eroding the beach.
So these are environmental problems that we're going to have to solve one way or the other.
Absolutely correct.
And so I know that Mr. Lynn Fraser,
yes,
who has begun to build this development. What is this one called?
This is La Vista Point.
La Vista Point is going to be on the other side of the freeway.
Correct.
And that's coming in. That lighthouse is going to go up.
That's under construction right now, yes. We have a 140-foot tall lighthouse that's under construction. We have about 159 units apartment complex that is underway as of right now.
And then they said, Jonathan, why don't you just keep going, right? I mean, just add up the whole thing. What are we looking at? This is the potential view of North Beach after this development, right?
Absolutely. So this is an idea. The canal that we're running through here would potentially fix the drainage problem, and it's under study right now. We've got two engineers looking at different aspects of this. Urban Engineering is doing a feasibility study on this right now, and this is just a grand scheme of the idea of what this could possibly look like, and in all actuality will look like, because we're getting a lot of good feedback back that this is actually possible and it's going to happen.
So now the City Council has to approve and review all of this, right? But you have people from the council working with you on its development. So it's not like, am I correct?
That's correct.
Okay, how is that working out?
So the City Council formed a task force with Everett Roy, the City Council member, Carolyn Vaughan, the County Commissioner, Jeff Blaggard, who is a master developer and understands drainage. And they have been working on this project and came up with the ideas how to resolve these issues. And with that, this whole idea came about. And it's going to be more like, originally in San Antonio, they had a drainage ditch.
Yes.
And then
it's called the river.
Yeah, and it was a rough place, and it was going downhill.
Yep.
And the City Council decided to turn it into a river walk with the little boats and restaurants, and that's what we like to do down here.
But interesting, this one is navigable. We can bring boats in there, so even better than the Riverwalk.
That's a huge project. Is it going to be up to the city to finance it? How are we going to find the money to do this? Or is it outside money coming in?
Well, Jeff Blaggard will, some of the City Council members have asked to do a private-public partnership. Jeff Blaggard said he will borrow and lend the city $40 million, and we estimate that's what the cost just of the canal is.
Yes.
And over time, and whatever Jeff Blaggard borrows it for, the city will pay back. The infrastructure is very old in North Beach, and it's a blighted area. The stormwater drains aren't working, the utilities are very old.
And they're all under sea level.
And they all under sea level.
And nothing survives on the Gulf Coast for 100 years. It's rare. The environment doesn't help us, right? Am I correct?
Correct, yes.
It's very hard. So we have to keep developing this. So the idea is, where is it now? Is it in front of the council for approval or blessing, or is this still a pipe dream?
Well, the first part is one of the groups have hired Lloyd Engineering out of Houston, and they're doing all the water studies of the islands and the barrier to protect the erosion of the shoreline.
Right, and they've been out there right now. They've been doing drilling. They've got surveys of underwater, so we've got that in motion right now. The canal, we have got feedback coming back from urban engineering. It should be in the next few weeks. We'll get that back, the feasibility study, whether doing a drainage ditch or a canal.
Okay.
So we're moving forward.
There's something happening at North Beach, and hopefully someday we'll get to get out there and enjoy it and let everybody, because I take people to the Lex and they look around and going, well, what happened here? Well,
right, well, we need something for the kids too, for the future of Corpus Christi.
Amen. So the city's got to grow.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. We'll be watching and waiting to see what happens on North Beach. All right.